everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Alchemy-Chan show, and I'm so glad that you are here today. This is, like I said, the first episode, so it's going to be very difficult for me to, try to contain my excitement here, because I've been wanting to do a podcast for, God knows when, for the longest, actually. If I can remember, I think the earliest I wanted to do it was since I started YouTube, really honestly. I always wanted some long form talking thing going on here. And I don't think podcasts were really heavy around the time I was starting YouTube. So I didn't really know what I wanted. It was just more so I wanted to talk more. That's basically what it was. And the only way I did that was through live streams. But anyway, yes, this is the first episode of the Alchemy-Chan show, and I'm so glad that you can be here. I'm so glad that you guys are here. We're going to have to, keep the house rules going on here. By now, if you are watching this, if you haven't already, please leave a like and you comment about anything that I'm going to talk about within this first episode. Or if you just want to say, hey, great job, or you want to say, hey, that was really terrible, don't ever do this again, please leave that in the comments. And make sure the most important thing is that you subscribe so you guys know exactly when I upload these next episodes or any other video that I do or when I go live. And the best way to do that also is to hit that post notification bell so you guys know when I always upload. It comes straight to your phone so you guys know exactly when. So yeah, that is it. Let's get into the formalities here right now. Really right now I want to get into what this podcast really is. For years and years and years, I've been talking about Sonic on this channel, and I do want to still continue to talk about Sonic, but I think my main thing is that I want to branch out to different topics. I like gaming as a whole. That's just me. I love gaming as a whole, and I love the business side of it. So I always like to voice my opinions about stuff like that. And this is exactly what this is. This is just me talking about certain decisions that companies make. Anything news that I'm excited for, or any news that I don't really like. I feel like I was a little bit too overly positive with my channel. I only talked about stuff that I was excited about. Where this gives me a little bit more time to talk about stuff that I'm not really pleased with or I absolutely hate. It gets a little bit more personal with it. So yeah, I hope I'm not literally yelling into the mic. So I'm trying to keep a safe distance while also trying to read. I'm nervous. Can you guys tell? I'm trying my hardest. But yes, I am super excited for this. Hope you guys are excited too. So also, I am going to do this bi-weekly. So every other Friday, it will be a new episode. We're going to talk about certain stuff. And in between that, you will see clips of the previous or most current, depending, time is relative. That's what Einstein said. When the current episode is out, so y'all can go look at those clips, and maybe I might intrigue you to go look at the full episode. Up to you. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. But anyway, moving on from that, I am also going to be doing live streams in between those while also doing regular form content. The regular form content will probably be more reoccurring than the live streams. Live streams is kind of hard for me to do because I don't really have enough time in a day to do an hour or 2 hour live stream, but maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get to that point. Anyway, let's jump right into it. I had a whole format. I had a whole list of what I wanted to talk about. But because this week in gaming, it's been crazy. It's been insane. So today we're going to talk about a lot of different topics and just trying to mash it, combine and jumble it all up. So that's what we're going to do today. I will start off with the Ubisoft union. I'm not laughing because of the situation. I'm laughing because Ubisoft just keeps kicking themselves while they're down. This is insane. So we are shutting it down. Ubisoft unions call for international strike 5 unions in France have proposed a mass walkout in February in response to widespread cost cutting and a return to office mandate. All right, so I will be sourcing every article that I read, so you guys can read it for yourself. And I also want to give credit to the editors and the writers and authors of these articles as well. I don't want to take from them. Go read these for yourself, because I'm going to be skimming through. I'm not going to read the whole thing. A cohort of unionized Ubisoft employees in France have called on all workers to join a massive international strike in protest against 5-day return to office mandate and widespread cost cutting at the company. Mind you, this is just ripe after Ubisoft. If you have not noticed, Ubisoft has canceled like 6 projects, delayed like 7, and like there's still like stuff that's delayed. So it's been quite the month for Ubisoft right now. So this being a thing is not a good thing. Ubisoft unions STJV Solidarities Informatique. Shut up. See, whatever all this stuff is, are encouraging employees to down tools for 3 days from February 10th, that's my birthday, to February 12th. The strike has been called in response to the colossal reorganization announced by Ubisoft last week, which will see the company restructure its studio system around 5 creative houses, which I don't see it being a good thing of restructuring when you know that you have not made money in since Valhalla days. You've been broke since. You've made every poor decision ever since. It hasn't been really good for you guys. The decision has already resulted in project cancellations, the studio closures, and more downsizing. Upheaval will follow, with Ubisoft planning a £200 million cost-cutting initiative and return to office mandate that will require all teams to work on site 5 days a week. In a joint statement posted by Blue Sky, all 5 unions said the nature of the plan and the manner in which it was communicated internally shows a disregard for the rights and well-being of employees. If you do not know anything about crunch, these companies have, and I'm not saying that's exactly what Ubisoft is doing right here, but crunch has been a thing in the game development aspect of since millennia. It has been a thing, and it has played this industry for a while. Recently, Naughty Dog is getting under fire for doing the same exact thing when they said right in the time of that Last of Us Part 2, the Grounded Part 2 development series, documentary of The Last of Us Part 2, they said that they weren't going to crunch. And what are they doing with Intergalactic in order to appease their shareholders for Sony? Crunching to get the demo ready. And it's just like, these companies are just not quite understanding the livelihood of the people that are working on their stuff. And I don't care. There's nothing that Ubisoft is. They just canceled Watch Dogs and said that the series is dead. So I don't really care about anything that they're pushing out. The Crew Motorfest died with season 2 or season 3. I haven't bought the current season, so I don't care. And Forza Horizon 6 is coming out, so I don't really care about Motorfest anymore. Nothing that Ubisoft has been putting out has really, struck me. And I mean, that's just my opinion. They might do something for you. You need help. But these companies are not really looking out for their people who are technically really running their company. These CEOs and people higher ups, they're not running the company, they're running the company. But these developers and these teams, the people who have families and hardworking families and living paycheck by paycheck, or their salary's a little short or whatever, they are the ones that are pushing out these games. They are making our games, so they need respect and they need to be taken well care of. And I don't care about game. It's very selfish of me to be like, well, just make the game or blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that. This needs to be taken care of. You need to take care of your employees. I do not care. The article goes on to talk about the mismanagement of Ubisoft and things like that nature. Like I said, I will put the article down below so you guys can read it on yourself. Heading into Ubisoft again, this is what I was just talking about. Ubisoft canceled 6 projects, including Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, which a lot of people were, obviously hurt about. Closes 2 studios and confirms further layoffs and major company restructure. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake looks to have been delayed. Actually, they didn't even announce the remake. So, having a remake of one of your beloved games be announced through saying that your games are being delayed is not a good look on you, Ubisoft. It's really not good. So, once again, they have struggled. Ubisoft has announced a sweeping company restructure that resulted in cancellation of 6 games, including its Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, and a delay of further 7 titles. 2 Ubisoft studios will be closed completely as a result of the changes, while others are subject to further layoffs. Of the half-dozen games that will have fully scrapped, Ubisoft is only publicly naming one today. It is a long-awaited Sands of Time remake that was rebooted once again already. 3 of the canceled games were new IPs. Let me read that again. 3 of the canceled games were new IPs. So you couldn't even make the new games that you really wanted. How broke can you be, as a company? What are you doing wrong? While one was a mobile game. Really? A mobile game. Okay. Ubisoft's core focus going forward, the company said, will be in open world games and live services. Fun. No specific detail has been given of the 7 titles that Ubisoft has delayed, either through this number. Does include the unannounced game once set launch before March 31st that is widely expected to be the company's Assassin's Creed Black Flag remaster. This will now launch in the coming financial year, so before March 31st, 2027. Yes, I accidentally left the L out of flag, and I accidentally said another word. Don't make a clip out of it. Don't cancel me before this podcast starts taking off. Don't do that. Ubisoft Stockholm will fully close as a result of the changes, having previously collaborated on Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora alongside mobile studio Ubisoft Halifax. Restructurings have also taken place at Ubisoft offices in Abu Dhabi. I'm not gonna butcher it. I feel like that place needs respect, and I'm not gonna disrespect it. Which they were the people who were making the division. In addition, all teams were required to return to in-office working 5 days a week, albeit an annual allowance of remote working days. We know what just happened with the previous article that I just read. This article goes on, same thing as the other article, goes on to talk about the mismanagement of Ubisoft and what they've been doing, and it's really okay to close off everything with Ubisoft. The Ubisoft portion of this, I'm very hurt. I'm not gloating in what they have not accomplished. I'm very hurt because Ubisoft used to be one of my favorite. Assassin's Creed used to be one of my favorite franchises, and it's really sad to see that they've fallen short. Oh, Rayman! That's not even talking about Rayman. And I loved when the Division was out. I played the first Division. It's just really sad to see. And also the Crew, when the Crew was out. Watch Dogs. I love Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2. Legion, that doesn't exist in my mind. Legion does not exist in my mind. But it's really sad to see this. I really do hope that, we still can remember them for what they were, not what they are now. They're absolute trash. And they are causing us to themselves. But it is truly sad still to see. But that's it for Ubisoft. We're going to move on from Ubisoft. I don't like to give them much attention because I don't like their practices. And all I got to say is Ubisoft, treat your employees better. That's all I have to say about that. All right, another article with Insider Gaming. Like I said, every article will be linked in the description. Sony is quietly suggesting PS4 players to upgrade to PS5 consoles. Yes, if you have not noticed, there are still PS4 players. There are people who still play on PS4 wanting PS5 games to be ported to PS4. You want PS5 games to be ported to PS4. Just buy the PS5. I can understand. And we gave you grace when it first came out and it was hard to get, or you just didn't have the money. Cool. Got you. It's been how many years? You guys are still struggling? Come on. Catch it up. Earlier today, images surfaced online of a system message apparently sent by PlayStation direct to users on PlayStation 4 consoles. The message was suggesting that they take a look at the latest deals on PlayStation 5 consoles to upgrade and avoid missing out on some of their biggest games set to launch in 2026. Midway through 2024, the split between PS4 and PS5 players was around 50-50, with tens of millions of gamers worldwide still using the 2013 console as their flagship gaming device. Crazy to think about that. Alright, so in recent image, the surfaced on social media, one user claimed to have received a message from PlayStation that was quietly encouraging them to upgrade from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. The message read, whether you're catching up from the hits of 2025 like Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, Ghost of Yotai, or getting ready for their most anticipated games to 2026, including Saros, 007 First Light, Neo 3, and so much more, now the perfect time to upgrade to a PS5 console. Scan the QR code to see the latest deals on PS5 consoles. I'm sorry to say, if the company has to tell you to start upgrading, don't you think it's time to leave the PS4 behind? I think it's time. It's time to let it go. It had its run, and we're not going to cater to you guys anymore. They're not going to obviously cater. We stopped catering to you a long time ago, and we're definitely not going to cater. They're definitely not going to cater to you anymore. They're done with you. We don't care. Like, it's time to catch up. Y'all need to stop. Like, at first, I was like against it. People would be like, "Oh, you're just broke because you can't afford blah 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 blah." Now is that a time? Stop being broke. It's getting to that point. It's been, I think the PS5 has been out. What is it? When did it come out? 2020? Was it 21 or 22? I think it was 22. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 years. A good total of 5 years. What are we doing here? It's time to catch up. Y'all need to, like, come on, man. I personally don't see why people are still on PS4. I meant, like, if you're not, like, everyday, like, type of person and you're just chilling and you're, you got, like, you came off your 8-hour shift or whatever, how many hour shift you do. And you just want to, like, relax. You just want to lay back, play your Call of Duty, play your whatever, play your Concrete Genie. I don't know. Cool. Great. Do that. Go off. But for the people who are saying, like, oh, what? This game doesn't look like, that's not the next gen. Because we are catering to you dumbasses. We are catering to you people who want to still play PS4. They were catering to try to make every game still playable on PS4 because they knew the diaspora between PS4 and PS5 was very, very thin, and we needed to cater to you guys. To further along that you guys are going to eventually get to the PS5. Guess what never happened? You guys never got to the PS5. You guys are still on the PS4. We need to change it. What's going on? I don't know. I hope that this will send a message, but in reality, it won't. These people are still going to be on PS4. They're still going to, beg for games that's on PS5, and we're slowly getting to the point of just PS5. You got GTA 6 coming out on just PS5. You got, I believe, Resident Evil Requiem is not going to be on PS4 or Xbox, or maybe it is. I'm not too sure, but I don't think it is. It is going to be on Switch too, so maybe it is, because the Switch 2 is basically just a PS4. Sorry. Just saying. But yeah, I like it's just a thing of me right now where I need I need the PS4 players to just stop looking for a cop out. Go get a job, go save up, and buy you a PS4. But before you do that, get you a nice little apartment. Get out your mom's basement or, you know, your girlfriend's apartment or your boyfriend's apartment. Then get a PS5. Anyway, that is it for that article. Moving on, we really gotta change. We really gotta change this PS4, PS5 line. Like, when it went from PS3 to PS5, PS3 to PS4, it was very, very few people who were still on PS3. And it was just their personal choice. I remember, like, watching videos and, like, people are saying, like, you know, oh, you know, I can't afford a PS4, or I just don't play that much, so why would I spend money and hundreds of dollars on a PS4? Cool, that's great, totally understandable. But for the PS4 to the PS5, it's like that disconnect didn't snap. It's like they still want to be on this PS4. They still want to be in this pick me, save me, and cater to me. And I know you have a new console, but please still support me, even though it's been years. You know, again, PS4 came out in 2013. PS4 came out, what? It came out the same year GTA 5 came out. And we are sitting here still talking about the PS4, and GTA 6 is about to come out. I'm confused. What are we talking about here? Alright, moving on. Nintendo censors Switch 2 version of Dispatch. If you don't know what Dispatch is, it is one of my favorite games of last year. It was hilarious. I love the story. I love the characters. Love it. It released on PS5 and PC. And now it is on the Switch too, but there's a twist to it. There's a twist to it. Dispatch is set to release soon on the Nintendo Switch 2, and with that comes some concessions and censorship. Releasing on the console on January 29th, Dispatch features moments of vulgarity, nudity during the story. While there is an option to self-censor the game, should you not want to hear or see those moments, it appears that Nintendo has made the decision for players. In a statement provided to Eurogamer, Ad Hoc Studios confirmed the censorship, but says that the overall narrative and experience will remain the same. Different platforms have different content criteria, and submissions are evaluated individually, Ad Hoc said in the statement. We worked with Nintendo to ensure the content within the title met the criteria to release on their platforms, but the core narrative and gameplay experience remains identical to the original release. First released with the weekly episodes in October, Dispatch quickly became the biggest surprise hits of 2025. The game sold 2 million copies in the first month and has since surpassed 3 million copies on PlayStation and PC combined. With the game now coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and possibly more in the future, the number is likely to rise even more. That said, I am feeling some type of way, because I don't know who to really get mad at here, and I don't know who really to blame. Because we're sitting here and we're saying that Nintendo is like setting a criteria for like what is allowed or stuff like that. And didn't Cyberpunk 2 release on the Switch 2? Launch day, or like relatively to launch day? So like, what's the difference with Dispatch? I don't get it. And if we're talking about Ad Hoc, it's just like, okay, then why even venture onto the Switch 2 if there's criteria that is limiting your gamers, your consumers' experience? So it's just at that point, don't release it. Or for Nintendo, you can do this, slap that M-rated so that parents know what they're getting into, just like you did with Cyberpunk. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Are we limiting what the consumers to see? And who's to say that that's your choice? When it released on PlayStation and PC, it was their choice. If it was your choice to see big slinging DICKs, like, if it was your choice to watch a sex scene in there, that was your choice. You get a Nintendo console, and it's like, oh, well, we have kids on this console, so we gotta censor it. Nintendo, I hate to tell you, most of your audience are adults who grow up with Nintendo and still looking forward to your consoles and your games. Hate to tell you, but that's what's going on. Not only that, you really don't need to look at that logic. You need to look at more so it's just as simple putting an M-rated on the eShop and on the box art. It's not that hard. Like, this just seems very pointless to me. They very much could have just found a way to just release it in its original state with the change of, like I said, putting the M-rated on the actual box or on the eShop. Or better yet, Ad Hoc could have just been like, hey, we kind of have like a thing going on here. It's kind of like we really don't want our game to be touched. We don't want to change, or we don't want to limit our consumers. So we're kind of just like not going to have it on this console. But at the end of the day, it's all about money. Nintendo's getting money. Ad Hoc is getting money. Who really cares, right? That's really comes down to. All right, moving on. We're going to go into Tamagotchi life. Now, I do want to, real quick, go into, give me 1 second. I do want to go into Tamagotchi, because Tamagotchi, living the dream. There was a Nintendo Direct today as a recording of this episode, and I do want to talk about it real quick. There was a lot of cool things with this game. This is one of my ready to go to games of this year, so I'm for the Switch too. So I'm really excited about that. But let's talk about it, shall we? So first off, I definitely want to say that this Nintendo Direct geared towards Tamagotchi life, living the dream, was very much needed, because like I was wondering how much they would not do for this game. Nintendo has had a track record lately as to butchering their really popular or really niche franchises, and I really have a problem with Metroid Prime 4. We're talking about that in a future episode. But Tamagotchi is very loved by that niche group, and I'm one of them. I love Tamagotchi. So I was really scared to see like what this would, end up being, or how much it would not give me. But right off the bat, you saw that now you can choose from male, female, and non-binary, which I had no idea they were going to do that. And to some people that may not matter. To me, that matters, because like it was always hinted. It was like slightly hinted in the original Tamagotchi on the 3DS. And like now that they are just like, hey, like this is a thing. I love it. So it seems like they are really pushing for this, and they are really proud of this project and of this game. It's not just like a cash grab, half baked to throw in a Switch 2 to give you another sequel to shut the Tamagotchi. Like, this seems like they really wanted to make this, and it didn't lose the spark. It didn't lose the spark of what Tamagotchi was. So I'm sincerely excited to play this game when it comes out on April, I think it said April 16th. But that is not what I'm here to talk about today. It is priced at a $59.99 in the US. That is really great to see. In the sea of prices of $75, you know, a cool $69.99, it's nice to see that something is $60 and it's priced very low. Nintendo has not been doing that lately, and I'm truly happy that this game will be priced at a lower price, because it didn't need to price it at $79.99 or $69.99, because it's Tomodachi. You know, you don't need to price that high. So I'm really proud. I'm really glad that will be at the price range that it's going to be. With tax, depending on where you're at, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, like 62, 65, whatever. But I'm very happy about that. Can't wait to play it. Yes, it is April 16th. Sorry, I just saw the confirmation here. April 16th, 2026. I'm really excited. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit of an intermission here. I'm gonna do something real quick, and then we'll come back. Be right back. We're gonna do like some cool thing right now. So you'll see, whatever, you'll see what happens. Bye. Hey, you. Have you hit that little subscribe button, you little booger? You probably didn't. You really should. There's going to be a lot more content coming to this channel, not only new podcast episodes, but also new videos that I'm planning, and also live streams as well. So, if you're really intrigued, and you should do it because I told you so, do it now. You should hit subscribe, like, comment, and hit that post notification bell so you guys always know when I upload. And thank you very much. Let's get back to the episode. Why am I doing this for? I don't know. Goodbye. Okay, moving on. Our next topic we're going to talk about is Highguard. If you don't know what Highguard is, Highguard was the game that was announced at the end of the Game Awards. And real quick, let's do something here. Let's talk about the Game Awards real quick. Quite honestly, it wasn't that bad. I like some of the games that was announced. I liked some of the games that was announced. I can show you the. Okay, where the hell would I find the stuff that was announced? Would it be on the homepage? I have no idea. Where the hell would it be? You know what? Let's just go to my Steam wish list. Uno momento. Okay, starting right here, there was one game that I was really interested in, because I like the aspect of it. And I need more platformers, honestly. I need more platformers in my life. Bradley the Badger. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't know, like, but I liked the style of it, and I liked that it was another platformer. There's also going to be like some like live action put to it, so I want to see how that turns out. Stupid Never Dies is another one I was interested in. The Free Shepherd I was interested in because it's a little more like atmosphere, sort of like how Flower was like back on the PlayStation 4. Obviously Lego Batman. I'm a hardcore Lego Batman fan, even though Lego Batman 3 was a letdown. Control Resonant, I freaked out over it because, let me tell you something about Control. I love the first Control. I'm currently replaying it on my PC, and I freaking love Control. So I'm really excited for this sequel. Tomb Raider was announced. That's my girl. I love Lara so much. She's the best. No Law was another one. It's sort of like a cyberpunk game, but like more so like a first person shooter, but like without like the heavy RPG elements. I don't know, it looks very different. Sort of looks like more cinematic in that way. Star Wars Galactic Racer. I wasn't like super excited, but I said I'll like keep my eye on it. Screamer wasn't really announced there, but it's another game that I'm really interested in. Might buy it soon. Don't know. I will look into it. Exodus was another one. I really liked what they shown. I had no recollection of it. It looks very interesting. Phantom Blade Zero, of course. Blood of the Dawnwalker was really interesting. The Expanse was really interesting. XEXE Killer was cool. Din Shatak. I hope I'm saying that right. Very, very heavily interested in this game. Dust Fade, which I actually played the demo, and I really did like. So I'm really excited for Dust Fade to see the further on. And I believe that is it. Well, Fable and Forza, that wasn't really announced there. But I'm really excited for those. But as far as the Game Awards, it was fine. What pissed me off was the last announcement of the show. And I'm not saying that he couldn't show this at the end, but it was just a placement. Why did you show at the end? I feel like you should have at least maybe showed it in the middle, close towards the end, but that being the last announcement. Just last year, Intergalactic was the last announcement for the show, and now you're showing some live service game by Wildlight Entertainment. Huh? No. Like, I was just very, very heavily confused. So Highguard was announced and shown at the Game Awards. And you would expect that there would be, you know, a little bit of PR, a little bit of promo towards the, you know, closer towards the launch. No. And it might have been a situation where, you know, let the game speak for itself when it releases, but I just saw it as, what are you not showing us? Now, I did play Highguard, not that much of it. I played maybe the tutorial, and I played maybe one or two rounds of Highguard. It's not bad. It's actually well done. The gunplay is very fun, and I liked some of the aspects of it, but that goes without saying. In my personal opinion, I don't think this game is for me, and that's fine. But I do think within a year, it could get to a point where it could be the next Apex. It can be the next, I don't know, whatever game. Rainbow Six Siege, because I got a lot of Rainbow Six Siege like feel to it, because you have to like reinforce the walls and stuff. That just reminds me of Rainbow Six Siege. So it took a lot from multiple different franchises and just mushed it all in one. So far, people have not liked this game. It has not been, well, why not on Vice? I don't want to be on Vice. Yeah, I don't know why I was on Vice. Let me get like a more reputable, I guess, article, I guess you can say. Let's see, what can I pull from here? Okay. Let's look at Polygon here. Highguard is off to a rocky start. Everyone's talking about Highguard, but not everyone is a fan. Highguard is a new... Okay, whatever. Currently, its Steam user score is sitting at mostly negative. Now, most of this is probably review bombing. I know it is most likely review bombing because right when the game went live, that's when it hit mostly negative. Most of these people have not even played it. They're just review bombing it. With 32% of nearly 15,000 player reviews giving the game a thumbs up, players have complained of long match queue times, which was actually true, getting kicked from the tutorial, which was actually true, and other server issues. True again. More still said the game also performs poorly with frame rate drops and other issues on Windows PC. Now, me personally, through that whole interaction, I haven't had an issue. Granted, I only played the tutorial and I played one or two matches. not that bad. I haven't had any issues. Everything was running smoothly. It's fine. Of course, it is impossible to have any discussion about Highguard's post-launch performance without acknowledging the review bombing. From the moment it was unveiled as a final reveal of the 2025 Game Awards, Highguard was fighting an uphill battle. Not everyone was thrilled at the prospect of yet another live service shooter entering the space. They were peeved at the announcement trailer, which featured eye-catching visuals but offered little to explain the game. Nabbed the coveted one more thing announcement. In fact, the backlash was ramping up on Reddit a month before Highguard's launch, with some comparing it to Sony's notoriously failed 2024 shooter Concord. Now, honestly, I don't want to read the rest of this article like full through and through, because I don't want to just take it word for word, but I will say the thing is about Highguard, and this is why I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. It's not bad. It's not broken. Yes, there were server issues, but I can easily be fixed with a patch, and they are currently working on it. Did it make it sour for the people who were already looking to hate this game? Yes. There was a key thing this article said that Claire Lewis has said in this article, and it was the nabbed the coveted one more thing announcement. That's what killed this game, was that it was being the last announcement for the Game Awards. Not only that, was very highly speaking of itself, that it was the new catch of the live service games, of the live service shooter. It was a new form, a new take, the next big thing in that genre. And quite honestly, I haven't seen that been proven. And it's not necessarily that's a bad thing. It's just more of the same, and that's fine. At this time, I think let's look at the actual let's look at the player count right now. Eek. Wow. Eek. Okay, that's damn. Having 9,534 players right now, and at your 24-hour peak is at 12,000. Oh my. Oh my. Let me explain something here. This is not a thing that I will say is sorely their fault. People are sheep. It is mostly people seeing the negative reviews and then following suit. But that does not make you the person of not taking blame here. Your game was met with multiple 3 flaws at launch, and then on top of that, you just didn't hype it up. And a lot of times people need a lot of hype in the gaming industry, or as a consumer, you need to talk about your game before, it releases. It gave off pompous. It gave off we're the shit. And we don't need to explain our game. We are Wildlight. We do Apex. Why not just let you guys play the game and you tell us how we feel? I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the whole aspect of it. But some people are having fun. A lot of people are having fun. Currently, 9,534 is having fun right now. And that's good. Maybe not what they expected, but that's still good. Let's see. When it launched, it was at 86,000. No, I'm sorry. At Steam release, yeah, it was around 86,000. Quickly dipped later on that night. Last of it was at 43,000. You hit the next day, gets around 39. We get into end of the 27th, and it's roughly let's see, roughly around 18,570. Start of January, it goes up about, what is that, 19,000, and then it quickly dives again later on that night. Jumps up, goes down. Damn, the start of today was terrible. So you're only at your peak hour at the moment right now, and then you've been flatlining. That's bad, guys. That's really bad. I do feel bad because I feel like when I was playing, there are some really cool ideas, and I bet playing with friends, granted I played by myself and like 2 randos, but playing with friends was probably really, really fun. I just haven't been able to experience it, but I'm very sad to see this. Like, it sucks because when it comes to games releasing, I'm not thinking about, yes, they failed, fuck them, yeah! Like, no, I'm looking at it as a stance like, there are developers who are working on this that have families, that have worked and slaved their asses off to only be met with people not playing their game. And that is always in the back of my mind when games fail. Anthem recently, let's look at that real quick. Anthem just got Anthem recently just got shut down. Servers are dead, although there is talk about revitalizing it. But when I think about that game, there are developers. There's a developer team who worked very hard on these games, and it sucks to see that their hard work goes to nothing. When it comes to live service games, at least like if it's a game that failed and it's like maybe like a single player story, like Days Gone never got like recognition, or it never got a sequel, or it never got a it did get a remaster. When it comes to that game, people can look back at that game and be like, wow, we really made that, and people are still loving it. Someone on TikTok can post it randomly and just be like, oh, this is a lost gem, underrated game, blah blah blah. And when it comes to live service games, you don't get that because those servers are shut down. No one can play it. You can hear people talking about it, but no one's actively playing your hard work, and that kind of sucks, honestly. But once again, like I said, I am just hoping that Highguard will become this other type of situation right now. I hope that people will see it in a different light eventually, given a year. Let's give it time to build itself. And some people might make the argument that we gotta stop giving games like this grace. Like, games should be coming out, because the more and more we give them grace, the more and more they're gonna send half-ass games out. And I do agree with that. But we have to remember, this game was free to play. And from what I'm seeing a little bit, there really wasn't any heavy microtransactions. So, I can't really be mad about it. So, I'm hoping that Highguard can change its course, and I'm hoping that people will be a little bit more acceptive of its changes and its growth. So, yeah. Fingers crossed for Highguard. Fingers the fuck crossed. Jeez. Anyway. That is it for me today. I'm going to end it. I don't know if this first episode is going to be short or long or podcast worthy length, but I'm hoping that maybe it just reaches like, I don't know, 58 minutes, 59 minutes, maybe a full hour. I don't know. But that's really all that I have to say. I am very, very, very excited to continue this. I'm very excited to go ahead into the next episode, and I hope that you guys are too. What do you guys think about anything that I was talking about today? You leave a comment. I start a conversation. This is the most conversation I need. The most comments in these videos is this. I need it here. I need it in these episodes. I need it in the podcast more than my videos. But yes, that is it for me. Thank you for joining the first episode for the Alchemy-Chan show, and too many more. I wish I had champagne. All I have is I have some pineapple soda. Cheers. But I am going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for the first episode. Like I said, these episodes will be bi-weekly, so it will be going on bi-weekly. I want to give a special thanks to my cousin, Bunkman Productions. He makes really great music, so if you guys are looking to get your music done or whatever you need done, anything sonically, he can help out with. So I want to thank you for him for making the intro. He's actually made my theme song for this whole channel, and redid it for the stream podcast. So yes, thank you. And I want to give a special out to Janet, who did the vocals for the theme song. She did a kick-ass job, and I'm very thankful and very grateful for her lending her voice for this podcast. You will hear her for every episode, so she's gonna be quite famous. So yes, thank you, Janet, greatly appreciate it. And I want to give a special thanks to you guys who are going to be here for every episode, hopefully. Do you like me? No, you don't? Cool, great. I'm an acquired taste. I've learned that. Fine by me. But hopefully we can go on this journey together. We can keep going for more episodes and whatever. Bitch. Sorry. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Love you guys. Bye-bye.